So the title said learning languages. So in this chapter, we're gonna focus a lot about languages. Especially, we're gonna learn vocabulary that related to language learning. And especially the grammar point, we're gonna focus about adjective, comparative, and superlative. So first of all, we are going to get a really good text where they talk about an amazing language learner. I say he's amazing, but when we read the text, we will understand better. So now let's go. We're gonna try to read the text. The title of the text says "Speaking in Many Tongues." So we are going to start. We have the text. We have one paragraph, two, three, and okay, we can say four paragraphs. We're gonna try to divide the text in two. So left part, we're gonna read it, Miss Judith, and the right part, it's going to be you, Miss Stacey. Just pay attention and read, and after we're gonna try to discuss it together. Let's go with you, please, Miss Judith, with the first part.
Speaking in many tongues. Groups Mezzofanti, 2774 to 1849, was an Italian cardinal who was perhaps the best language learner ever. He spoke more than 28 languages fluently. He never left Italy, but he learned to speak these languages without an accent. People from all over the world came to talk to him in their mother tongue. All of them were amazed at his fluency. At the age of 12, Mezzofanti spoke his native Italian, as well as German, Greek, Latin, and at least 5 other languages. Then he learned Arabic, Russian, Hindi, Old English, and Maltese. He also learned Chinese. This was the hardest language for him to learn. It took him 4 months.
Thank you.
Some stories say he also spoke 20 other languages quite well, and that he could understand another 20. For example, Tibetan and Icelandic. Another story says that he heard there were 2 foreigners in a prison in Rome, so he learned their language in one night and spoke to them the next morning. It's hard to know if all these stories are true. Some people, for example, ask, how did he learn Old English without meeting anyone who spoke it? How did he really learn our language? How did he really learn our language in a few weeks or in one night? We don't know for sure, but we can say for certain that Giuseppe Mezzofanti became a language learning legend.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and congratulations, Miss Judith and Stacey. You did a wonderful job, especially the way that you read. So now we're gonna try to go in details, like to understand better what we read recently. So we have the question for letter A. I think it's a kind of easy. The question letter A, they say, look at the pictures and the title. What do you think the text about? Even though we already read the text, so what can you say? What is the text about, Miss Mirta, please? Okay, Miss Mirta is not ready. And about you, Stacey, because you read recently, what do you think the text is about?
The text talks about Asian people who learn many tongues, like many languages. And he learned these languages so quickly. And he can understand really well this language. The more strange in the story because he never left the country he lived. it's a, I can say it's a legend, like the text says before.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it's a really wonderful text. We will have a lot to say about it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to try to answer the question letter B. They say read the text again and listen. Write T for true, F for false, but you should correct the false statement. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to read again. But for this time, we are going to listen. Please pay attention, everyone. We are going to try to listen and read at the same time. And after, we're going to try to get the answer for letter B. Okay, please pay attention. Let's go. We are going to read and listen again.
Unit 7, Exercise 1B. Read the text again and listen. Write T for true or F for false. Speaking in many tongues.
Giuseppe Mezzofanti, 1774 to 1849, was an Italian cardinal who was perhaps the best language learner ever. He spoke more than 38 languages fluently. He never left Italy, but he learnt to speak these languages without an accent. People from all over the world came to talk to him in their mother tongue. All of them were amazed at his fluency. At the age of 12, Mezzofanti spoke his native Italian, as well as German, Greek, Latin, and at least 5 other languages. Then he learned Arabic, Russian, Hindi, Old English, and Maltese. He also learned Chinese. This was the hardest language for him to learn. It took him 4 months. Some stories say he also spoke 30 other languages quite well, and that he could understand another 20. For example, Tibetan and Icelandic. Another story says that he heard there were 2 foreigners in a prison in Rome. So, he learned their language in one night and spoke to them the next morning. It's hard to know if all these stories are true. Some people, for example, ask, how did he learn Old English without meeting anyone who spoke it? Or, did he really learn a language in a few weeks, or in one night? We don't know for sure, but we can say for certain that Giuseppe Mezzofanti became a language learning legend.
Okay, so thank you very much, all of you, for your paying attention, listening to the text and read at the same time. So now we're gonna try to get the answer for letter B. Please pay attention, everyone, and let's go. We're gonna try to answer the 5 questions. Question number 1, it says, Mezzofanti spoke over 38 languages. It is true or false, Miss Natasha?
Okay, it is true.
True.
For 1, it false for 2.
Thank you very much. Let's go for number 2, Miss Judith. What do you think? Do you agree it is false or it is true? Number 2. They say he traveled to other countries. Miss Judith, your microphone, please.
False.
Why do you say it's false?
Because in the text says he never left Italy.
Great, amazing. I appreciate your answer and thank you as well, Miss Natasha. And number 3 says, for Mezzofanti, Arabic was harder to learn than Chinese. Miss Mugta, please, what do you think? Is it true or false?
True.
You say it is true. Thank you. And about you, Miss Ann Carla, what do you think? Do you agree? It is true or false?
It's false.
Why?
Because in the second paragraph of the text, he said this was the hardest language, the Chinese, to him to learn.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think you're right, Miss Anne. Yes, because they say Chinese, is the hardest. Okay, thank you very much. Let's go now with number 3, number 4, Miss Steffi. They said one story says that he learned a language in one night. It is true or false?
True.
Okay, thank you. Let's go for number 5, Miss Steffi. He never met anyone who spoke old English. Miss Steffi, it is true or false?
It's true.
Thank you very much and congratulations. Okay, so
I have a question for number 1. Miss Natasha said, yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, Miss Natasha said it's true, but I don't know if you have different answer.
Because what difference before I had something? What difference he has between done?
Again, please, the question.
What difference between over 38 languages are done? 8 languages, Teacher Michael.
Thank you for your question. Yes, the question that you asked, for example, we use done like to compare things. Like when we want to compare 2 things, we can use done. But when you use over in this context, it's to talk about more than. In this context, over in this language, it's mean more than.
Okay, Teacher Michael, I understand.
Did you also have the same doubt, Ms. Judith?
No, teacher.
Okay.
I understand before.
Great. Interesting. So now we have like some personal question about the text, especially Miss Ankara, Miss Mirta, Miss Judith, Miss Natasha. We have like some personal question about your understanding. So the story, for example, in letter C, they say, do you know people in your country who speak more than one language? Miss Ankara. In your country, not only in Haiti, it can be in the country where you live now. Do you know people who speak more than one language?
Yes, I know a lot of people.
Okay, and you can keep on.
And they speak. Many of them speak English, for example, Spanish. No, Spanish is the language of the country. Spanish, French, and Creole. Creole also.
Interesting. Good. So now the question that I have is about the text. So what is your opinion about the text or about the story? It's like general. Miss Ankala, you can answer if you want. Miss Judith, Steffi, all of you. What is your opinion? You agree with everything that you found in the story, or you have something that amazed you? What do you have to say?
I'm agree with the text because I'm surprising because I know we can learn more than 28 languages. I don't know if it's possible before. So it's really, really amazing because I don't know if I can do that or if a person can do that,
Okay.
More than 28. That's really amazing.
Okay. And about you, Miss Ankara, what is your opinion? And what amazed you most in the story?
In the beginning, that I was very amazed. I thought to myself, wow, he can speak 38 language. So, but in the end of the text, in the last paragraph, it said the stories, maybe the stories is not true. So that's very difficult to believe someone can speak a language so easy, okay, in one night. So that's the story the text look really, really real. Real?
Red. We can say red or strange, stuff like this. Okay, thank you and congratulations. And about you, Miss Natasha, what is your opinion?
About the text, the cardinal for me is the story is too good to be there.
To be true. I got you. And about you, the other guys, what do you have to say? Do you have something to say about like the way that these guys learn the language?
I have my dog. He can speak many languages, but about 38, I don't really want to this story. He can speak. For me, I have my dog, and the part it's really amazing for me, and the story is for he learned a language in one night. And one night, Michael, you are in a prison, you don't have documents. How do you learn a language in one night or prison? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can say he learned the language. The story don't have in detail. Oh, he learned the language. But in our prison, I think it's almost difficult to find library to do research. I don't know. It's Mr. Fonty do it. But I don't it's a story. I just consider it a story because I will do the research about the people who learn the more. I will do research before, and after I'm gonna telling you my what I found because I don't want to believe it. It's unbelievable for me. It's unbelievable.
Okay, thank you. And about you, the other guys, what do you have to say? Okay, for example, I mean, it's a kind of amaze or strand or word, as Miss answered at the beginning. I mean, to learn one language in one night, is it possible? Maybe, because if the first part of the story is true, this part is possible. Because you can imagine if you speak French, you speak Spanish, you speak Italian, you speak Portuguese, you speak English, and maybe 20 other languages. Do you think it's possible to learn like some basic thing in Italian during one night? Do you think it's possible? Maybe, because you already get the power and you already get a lot of other language who get the same roots. Do you understand? Maybe it might be possible for somebody who speaks only one or two languages. It might be okay. It's really difficult or impossible.
In the text, Michael, they said quite and well.
Okay. When they say quite well, that doesn't mean that the person speaks, I mean, all the languages. I'm sorry, everything in the language. And the person was not in prison. The person went to visit two people who were in prison. I don't know if I'm mistaken or if you see all the thing, like if the man was in prison, but they say the man went to visit two people. Let's go. They say the man went to visit two people who were in prison. Anyway, I think like it's a good story, and as they say at the end of the story, they say these guys become language learning legend. Legend is something that a kind of fiction, something that people would think it's not true. Anyway, I think it's a really good story. So, other question that we can ask, so what do you learn? Maybe you can learn a lot of other things. If the person can speak like 20, 25, 30 or 30 something languages, is it possible for you to learn and to speak English really well? What do you think? It is possible? I think you get the answer. Yes, if you want, and you get the will motivation, as Miss Natasha said at the beginning, I think it's possible. Now, my other question, all of you, especially Miss Milta and Miss Ann Carla, do you understand everything in the text, or you have some expression or words you don't understand? Miss Milta, please.
Yes, I understand.
You understand everything? Okay, Miss Ann Carla.
Yes.
Okay, I congratulate you. I congratulate all of
you. Michael.
Let's go with you, please, Miss Stacey.
In the text, they said he learned to speak this language without an accent. What does that mean? Without. I understand the words. I want to understand what does that mean when they said he spoke without an accent.
Okay, thank you. What is your opinion about that, Miss Ankala? Do you understand this part?
I think it's mean he spoke this language that like he was a native of the country. Like I can say I speak Spanish. Like if I was born in Republic Dominican without accent.
Thank you. And about Miss Judith, I'm so sorry. Did you share the same opinion with Miss Ann Carla?
Yes. When you without accent, we speak another language with her accent. So they speak like a native speaker, like an American, like Greek. I don't know.
Congratulations, Miss Ann Carla, because I really appreciate you and you, Miss Judith, as well. And I think you get the answer, Miss Stacey, because sometimes it's not a matter of the language; it's a matter of knowledge. You understand? Like to understand thing and to explain thing in the language. I really congratulate you. Stacey, your microphone is closed. I don't know if you're okay with the answer.
No, I'm not okay.
You don't understand, or you don't agree?
I'm not okay to the mic.
What
I want to know if the person in question talking the other language, like on the text. But before, without connecting doesn't mean with art. I'll consider that.
Okay, I'm so sorry. If you don't want to say without an accent, you can say perfectly. You can say perfectly in this context.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yes, it's like I understand this part. I want to know all other synonym about without accent. You can speak English.
Okay, as Miss Ann said and Miss Judith, like a native speaker.
Okay.
For example, if you speak English perfectly in this context, you can say, okay, you speak English without an accent. But if you speak it like an Asian, you have an accent. If you speak it like, or for example, when or Dominican or Chilean is talking, they say interesting. Interesting, you know, okay, this person has an accent because not only the pronunciation, but the accent as well is a Spanish accent. But sometimes you can hear the person is talking, but you don't know the nationality of the person because the person doesn't really have an accent. And I remember last time somebody told Miss Yolanda that because they say, Miss Yolanda, you don't have an accent because I didn't know if you were Asian. It's why? Because she doesn't really get an accent. Okay, so let's go. let's go. If you're okay now, let's go now, and I'd like to keep moving forward.